Alright, in this lesson we're going to look at the measures of center. What we're talking about here is really three basic things that are called measures of center. The first one of our objectives is to understand how to find the mean. Second is to understand how to find the median. And third is to understand how to find the mode. These are our three measures of center. They give us three different takes on data and what's kind of happening within that data. The vocabulary, we've got mean, which is really what we know as average. So we're going to add all the data and divide by the number of the data items. Median, the middle value when data is in numerical order. So we're going to put everything in order from least to greatest and find out what's in the middle. This is really easy when there's an odd number of data points, but if there's an even number of data, then we average the two middles because there will be two numbers inside or in the middle of the data. The mode is the data that happens most often. So if we see a number happen 2, 3, 4, 5 times and the rest of the data is only happening once, then obviously whatever happens most is what we call the mode. Then we have an extra thing here, which is the outlier. This is data outside the range of the majority of data. So if you have data that's kind of clustered in one area and then some numbers that are way off away, then those would be considered outliers. We can use a dot plot to kind of visualize what's going on with something like that. First thing that I have here is a set of data. So you have 16 numbers. These numbers are numbers that were gotten from a movie theater, and these were the numbers of people that went into a specific theater on different days. So one day they had 14 people go to this movie or to this one theater, and 23 the next, 10, 21, and so on. And we have 16 data values. If we want to find the mean, what we do is we add all 16 of these things together. So we've got 14, 23, 10. We add them all up. We have to, with our calculator, hit equals because we want the sum. This is key. We want the sum of them. So we have to hit equals to be divided by the total number. There are 16 total data points up here. So we take this sum and we divide by 16. When we do that, we get an answer of 30.25. Because this one is talking about people, we obviously know we can't have 0.25 of a person. So we would say that on average, we get about 30 people into this movie theater. Moving on, what I've done is I have taken the same data set from before and I put them in order from least, 7, to greatest, 92. We have 16 numbers here and we want to find the median. Well, the median was the middle. Now, if there were only 15 points, if 92 wasn't there, then we would count to the middle, which would be 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So that would be the 8th number would be our middle when there's 15 data points. Because this is a 16th data point, we would take 16 divided by 2, we get 8. So the 8th number from the left would be our first middle, and the 9th number from our left would be our second middle. We need to average those two. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 21 and 23. We're going to average those. It's going to give us 21 plus 23 is 44. Divided by 2 is 22. So our median is 22 because that's what's right in the middle. 22 is in the middle of all of our data. Our last measure of center is known as the mode, and the mode is probably the most visual of the measures of center. What we like to do is we like to graph this. Typically a dot plot is one of our best ways to kind of show the mode, and what I have here is I have, again, the same exact data set, and I have made a dot plot from 5 to 95, and I've put the dots in specific places. If you notice, this area right here goes the highest. And because it goes the highest, this is the mode, because it's the most often. And the most often is this one right here. It's just above 20, so we've got 21 happening 3 times, so 21 is our mode. Now remember, with mode, there can be more than one mode. If there are 2 modes, 2 stacks that are the same height, that would be considered bimodal. If there are 3, that would be considered trimodal. We don't usually go over 3 modes. It kind of depends on the data. More data, the more allowed modes. One thing that we can see visually here is, here's the majority of our data. The majority is between 5 and 40. But we have these 2 data points, 80 and 92, that are way away from everything else. Because it's so far away from everything else, we would call these outliers. This is very easy to see with a visual representation like this. Now sometimes with data there are outliers, sometimes there are not, so that's why we like the visual to kind of see what's going on. If there's any part of this video that you didn't understand or you just need to see again, please watch again. Thank you, and bring your questions to class.